Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Alexander, man. Listen, I'm back. Yeah, man. Listen, we gonna dive in on $1 million worth of game. I was watching the episode with Jaylen Brown, man, and it's crazy because I pay attention to basketball, but it's just some people just not on my radar. I'm gonna be honest with you. Jaylen Brown, he one of them players like super successful, but he's just never really been on my radar. But what I can say is this man spends 500K or more or close to it, a year on his body for recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's crazy to me. I mean, I guess I'm saying that because when you can afford to pay 500K a year, just on recovery, financially, it don't sound like a move that I would make. But I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people like, oh, that's his money maker and da-da-da. Like, listen, he's not the first person to ever play basketball, right? And I've known people that play basketball for a long time, and I can guarantee you that they didn't spend that much a year on recovery. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Do y'all think 500K a year is too much to spend on your body? But outside of that, man, listen, the accolades, I kind of looked them up, man, and this dude, he did his thing, man. NBA champion 2024, NBA Finals MVP 2024, four-time NBA All-Star, All NBA second team, NBA All Rookie second team, Pac-12, All Pac-12 first team, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, McDonald's All American. Mr. Georgia basketball. He's definitely doing something right. You know what I'm saying? And then of course that bag that Boston gave him, that says a lot. It says a lot about not only him, but it says a lot about who he is as an athlete too. But I kind of wanted to really just come up here and, just give y'all some clips of this episode, because outside of basketball, he's actually like a dope person. Comes from a, dope family, dope place. And, just chopping it up with Walo and them, I just want y'all to just kind of chime in and, hear what he's saying so that we can kind of, get a little bit of Jaylen Brown, man. And I'm going to play it so y'all can hear what's going on, because some of this stuff is intriguing to me, man. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. Let's do it.
As an athlete, I feel like the people around you, like I said, like the machine and the people around you they want to keep you controlled and pacified. They want you to think that your influence is only used for entertainment. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to entertain. Like, I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here to play basketball for these owners and entertain some people that, I ain't never even met. I believe that you as an athlete, you're like the modern day warriors. You have influence in your neighborhood, in your community, and where you're from. And that influence shouldn't be just used on just money, cars, and clothes and the lifestyle. That influence comes with responsibility to take care of your family, inspire the next generation, take care of your community, be an influence, be a role model. I truly believe that goes hand in hand. I think that's a part of the responsibility, but everybody from the other side is trying to convince you that not.
Now, I will say this. Now, I understand the approach, but in order to get it to that position where you can do that, take care of your family, take care of the community, be a role model, these people that you claim to not be playing for, or these people, they give people that opportunity to be able to be in that position. So playing for these strangers, or being this act, because a lot of them, they hiring us for entertainment. So to think that you can think outside of that, I mean, action wise, you can do outside of that, but we are entertainers. You know what I'm saying? No matter how big we think we are in the media space, or how much we can do, like the opportunity that's presented to us it happens because they pay us to be entertainers. And I guarantee you, anytime we start doing anything outside of that, man, I guarantee you these people will get rid of your ass. I'm trying to tell you. But I get him. I understand what he's saying, but he's definitely, the reason for playing basketball. Sometimes, you don't mind doing that, playing for, the people that you've never met a day in your life. You don't mind the entertainment side. Like this is why playing basketball because you love to do it versus playing basketball because it seems like a job. I can kind of see how the approach can get a little bit different, but to each his own.
You don't worry about none of that stuff. Just worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Don't focus on. You just focus on basketball. We'll take care of everything else. We'll take care of you. Them the people that be taking advantage of us. That be saying that stuff. Just worry about you. Just get yourself a nice car. Here, get yourself a nice watch. Because who owns the watch company? Who owns the car company? Like who owns the stuff that you giving the money and all that back? Right back to the people who gave, to the community who gave it to you. You're giving it right back to that same community. So, to me, it's always been about that. Always using my platform from day one. It's not like I just woke up and just had this epiphany. I'm gonna be like this. Like I've been like this from day one. You can go back and do the research, but just trying to be an additive to my community here in Boston, in the Bay Area, in Oakland, and in Atlanta, where I grew up, and in other communities as well. Just trying to teach them that, our young kings and queens, they ain't forgot where they came from. And I try to be an example of that.
Now, we had a thing, and I think it's very important that the people that you partner with, you should make sure that if they with you, they with where you come from. We walked into a room one time, and our partners with Barstool was like, they had all this money they raised. We said, we need some money. They said, for what? We take back to the hood. So, and we didn't have to do that. We just was in the office one day shooting a show. We saw one of the CEOs, and I was like, she's like, come in, what you need? We need some M's. To what? I said, there's a time that a lot of businesses, minority businesses, were struggling. So we wound up getting $4.5 million, and we took it back to the $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. We just gave all these checks out to a bunch of minority businesses.
That's fine.
That was the greatest thing I ever did. That was like that when we walked.
Like when I tell you, man, like that's so dope, right? Because like Walo said, like sometimes you don't have to do that, right? And I think a lot of times, like you got people that make it out of the communities, right? And then they don't really. I get it when you got to take your money, your hard-earned money, and then you got to pour back, right? But if you are amongst people who are in position to help build your community because they make money off of you, sometimes you got to learn how to like leverage and utilize your resources. Like Barstool, they're worth so much, right? They didn't have to dig into their own pockets. Walo went and made a play, right? And then that play poured into the community. And then what the community do? They turn around and they come back and then they support $1 million worth of game, which then supports, Barstool Sports. And then it's kind of like, it's really like a marketing play, right? Even though they gave them, the 4.5, I guarantee you, man, some of these corporations, man, they have that in the marketing budget, right? The thing is, do you pour it in, Facebook ads, or do you pour it into these places that already, consume, millions of dollars from our community already? Or do you come back and you pour into the community and then you turn around and you get that same marketing, right? It's probably, it's probably like a better ROI too, as far as marketing go, because if, they take that money and they pouring it back into the communities, I guarantee you, like, it makes the show a better show because people don't mind supporting people that kind of reach back and look out. Like I'm telling you, man, every place, man, they got those people that become successful and don't do shit for the community, man. It's crazy.
To these businesses with these checks and they don't even know, all they had to do was submit, as long as they had their paperwork right. That feeling was like, because, when you live in the ghetto, you dream and it's like an idea, but you never believe somebody coming one day. that's going to help you doing your. In the response we got from that, like the personal and the stories I heard, and like the where they was at in life at the time, the react, it was just crazy. But I think it's so important that everybody got a foundation. If we in a position, you're supposed to have a foundation.
For sure.
Be able, because that's how you could, because once you got the foundation, that's when people, you got a foundation? You know how to get, here. They give you that money because they get the write-off. Here. But when you just say, I'm trying to do something, you got a foundation? I know you ain't. That's why we got to educate them with the union to get foundation so they can be able to take care of the community, send kids to college, feed them, build technology centers and stuff like that. Now, on the other note, I had some ideas in my head.
Listen, y'all, I ain't gonna take too much of y'all time, man. I really just wanted to just kind of tap in and, shine some light on $1 million worth of game, man. Shout outs to Gillie, shout outs to Walo. Shout outs to Jaylen Brown too, man. Super dope with what they're doing. As far as like the community go. Yeah, man, listen, y'all tap in, man. Cool People Network. Coolest place to watch podcasts. I'm always going to promote content that can kind of push the culture forward. That was the whole purpose of even doing what I'm doing, is because if I'm going to reach out and I'm going to be a voice and I'm going to build something or be a part of something, like, I definitely wanted to kind of create my own foundation, because like control is everything. But you also want to be in position that where people can actually like utilize what you're doing, man. Like a lot of people, like, they want to be in control for all the wrong reasons. Like, I don't like having my voice suppressed. I don't like limitations on learning. I don't like, things being shadow banned that I feel like people should be having access to. My thing was taking cool people, putting them in a cool place, learning some cool shit, and, just living life, man. Listen, Cool People Network. Y'all tap in, $1 million worth of game. I'm out.